The greater the distance through space from the observed galaxy to us, the greater the redshift in the color of the observed galaxy. This would be a physically acceptable proportionality, and not an absurd departure from the galaxy observed above the speed of light to what makes no sense for relativity. Which states that there is no privileged time that governs the universe, but that infinite relative times of different rhythms can be obtained by observers within the universe, makes us believe that the universe never had an origin, that it is immune to the harmful effects caused by the passage of time as the cooling of the universe as a whole, thermal death of the universe, etc. In short, it makes us believe that the universe is eternal through time. This fact also leads to the eternity of the living beings that are in this universe. We live always completing cycles like the sun that gives us life. We rise, we die, we are born again, we die, and so on, so that we never have a definite or absolute end. Whoever believes in the absolute end of a living being, necessarily logically, has to believe in an absolute beginning and an end of the universe. And whoever believes in an absolute beginning and an end of the universe has not yet been able to understand how physics works. The perfect equivalence between motion and rest in any situation, the continuity of empty space, the exact proportionality between physical concepts, and so forth. The awareness of the continuity of the universe and of all living beings when achieved should greatly minimize the search for immediacy, for the urgent satisfaction of human desires. Such awareness should bring more harmony to living beings. The uncertainty principle. Explanation of Werner Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. The uncertainty principle of Werner Heisenberg states that when we know precisely the position of a subatomic particle, an electron for example, we cannot know the speed of that electron precisely, and vice versa. When we accurately measure the speed of an electron, it becomes impossible to know the exact position of that electron. The principle states that it is not an imperfection or failure in the measurement of these two concepts when measured simultaneously, but that it is a fundamental characteristic of nature, a fundamental characteristic of physics that this occurs. Logically, the concept of position of a body can only be accurately known when this body is at rest with respect to the observer. We cannot expect a body in motion in relation to the rest reference in which the observer is to present a precise position in relation to the observer, since the concept of movement is precisely the change, the variation of the position of the observed object in relation to the observer. The concept of velocity of an object can only be known by an observer when this object is in motion relative to the observer. We cannot expect that an object at perfect rest in relation to the reference frame in which the observer is located presents a speed different from zero in relation to the observer, since the concept of velocity is precisely the movement, the variation of the object's position in relation to the observer. The logical explanation of the Heisenberg uncertainty principle resides in the simple fact that it is impossible to observe a body at rest and in motion in relation to the observer at the same time by the conceptualizations that we make about movement and rest. Either a body is in motion relative to the observer, or it is at rest relative to the observer. It makes no sense to say that an object is in motion rest relative to the observer at the same time, just as it makes no sense to say that a particle is in such a position at such a speed. Heisenberg said that electrons are just numbers, that there is nothing like an electron in our macro world, that it is impossible to present any analogy between an electron and something larger in our everyday world. I disagree with him about that. Numbers purely and simply represent quantities. There is nothing qualitative about a number. If you ask me, an electron is a quantity of what? I would certainly answer, an electron is a momentum. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel and give your like if you enjoy it.